So now let's go through some of the knots of illusion. Like in a net, there's the crossing of a string, it forms a knot, and it keeps it tight. So in this case, the knots of illusion is that by which you continue to invest directly or indirectly, knowing or unknowingly, in the direction which affirms that you are the body-mind complex. So in the scheme that I presented, the graphic, it's just a simple graphic. Don't take it too seriously. It's just to pass an idea. We have the ego, which is a pseudo entity, which is rooted, which has its feet on the mind, and the light of the soul shines in its head. And it confuses itself because it is a part of the body-mind complex. It confuses himself as the body-mind complex, being alive, being real. And the purpose of all spiritual practice, of the spiritual calling, is returning to the source. So that means that character has to rise his eyes upward in the direction of real identity, letting go of all mistaken identity, so that it goes back to the source. It's a graphic. Just give an idea. So all by which you are affirming that you are the body-mind complex. So we're going to talk about attachment. So attachments, you're attached to a dog, you're attached to an object, money, pleasure, people, family, whatever. You're usually attached to that which is some kind of a source of happiness to you, to the body-mind complex, that which surrounds the body-mind complex. There's different levels of attachment, and attachment usually is more than pleasure. It can be pain also, but is about one's own reality, one's possible reality. Reality means the life of the body-mind complex and its surroundings. And this perception of your reality can change drastically. Whatever is seen as heaven now can be seen as hell, and whatever is then seen as hell can become heaven, and again, depending on which reality you're attached to, what you need to protect. So these are the plays of the mind that you need to transcend, detach from. So being attached to objects, animated objects, inanimate objects, sources of pain, sources of pleasure, as you are attached to it, as you are investing in the preservation of those attachments, you are affirming indirectly that you are the body-mind complex, because the dog is important to the owner. The owner is the body-mind complex. So if you're investing in the preservation of that dog, then you're assuming automatically that you are the body-mind complex. It's just an example, probably not the best one. But this is how attachment works and how it binds you to body-mind consciousness. So attachment can be used also to free yourself, but it's a different attachment. As you attach yourself to God, to the divine, to the self. And that means in that graphic, you're not looking downwards, protecting the body-mind's sources of pleasure or pain. You are attaching yourself, identity, to that great ultimate reality. You're moving the shift from downward, belief towards downwards, to belief towards upwards. And as you try to move your attention upwards, transferring your attachment to that, it's like pseudo-identity attaching itself to real identity. And then it gets pulled. As pseudo-identity attaches to wrong identity, illusion persists, amplifies. So this shift in attention is crucial. But nature doesn't make it simple, because you have different levels of attachments and they work at different layers of perception, coming from the most superficial things to those which are ingrained by nature. It's like a program, being the last of them, attachment to life, to the life of the body-mind complex. This is a very strong attachment. It is tied through instinct. And when an instinct kicks in and it wants to survive, the body-mind wants to survive, wants to persist, because it's also a confusion with the higher nature. And the higher nature is eternity. So it is struggling against that absence of eternity. It is going to end. It has a time limit. So all sources of attachments. Of course, as you start answering the call for liberation, whatever attachments are there, more superficial, more immediate, will surface. Attachment to friends, family, because, well, as you are pulled inwards, the environment will try to bring you outwards again. And you cannot maintain the reality that you're experiencing and walk the path of liberation. Eventually, things will start to change, will want to change, and that's normal, because you are changing your interests, so why shouldn't your surroundings change? It may not change. In the structures, in what is visible. But if your interests change, your relationship to it will change for sure. And as it is starting to change, attachments to one's reality / illusion, preferred illusion, comes in. So there's a struggle by walking the unknown, and which usually means walking away from my safe place, my known place, my preferred reality / illusion. So walking that direction, in a sense, is turning away from all your attachments to all the world. Because when you speak about attachment to this object, that person, this situation, this context, these are just small ropes. Like an image in a screen. You see a formed image, but it's made of pixels. So your attachments, the visible ones, they don't reveal the invisible ones, of course, but they are there. But everything forms an image also, and it's the image of your life, of what you call your life. All the context of that body-mind complex. And that is the real attachment. It is to that image. And eventually, as you move your interests, there's a change in the image from a more binding one to a less binding one. And eventually to some image that has no strings attached. So attachment is one of those knots of illusion that keeps you binded by mistaken beliefs. And if you reflect on this, you will see them popping up. All the beliefs that are associated with the firm belief, central belief, ultimate belief of ignorance. I am the body-mind complex. When you look at all beliefs, all attachments, it is difficult to face them. It is impossible. But if you work from the smaller ones, the others that were too big become reachable, and so on, until you realize if you go just one by one, steady, the last one, the biggest one, when you finally get to it, is as small as the others. But if you try to face them all at once, it's just impossible. Attachment.